back to the Film Reel Cast. I'm Stuart, I'm your host. We're on episode 10 of Cobra Kai, season 1. We finally got to the end of season 1. This episode is called Mercy. And before we get into this episode, just to remind you, if you like what you're watching, please leave some comments, please leave feedback to me. As I say, it's a work in progress every single episode. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe, comment, and like and share. That's all I ask you to do. And again, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter at the Film Reel Podcast. Subscribe there and you won't miss a single episode. That includes the YouTube videos and the audio podcasts, which myself and James do. Try and do every other week on various films. It'd be great to have you subscribe to our channel, and as I say, you won't miss an episode. Okay, this episode 10, the finale of season 1, is called Mercy. We finally reached the All Valley tournament. And if you remember, there's been lots of things happening behind the scenes, bubbling up to this tournament. If you remember that the relationship between Miguel and Samantha has broken down. He believes it's due to Daniel having a factor in that, and Robbie as well. The bond that was building between Daniel and Robbie has broken down. He's found out that Robbie's Johnny's son, and that Izzy planted there as part of a game to find out what Daniel's doing, just to break down his relationship. And Daniel feels really hurt about this. And obviously it was a surprise for Johnny to find his son with the so-called enemy being Daniel. I mean, was he there betraying? He must have felt betrayed. So he's hurt as well. So everything that was built in the last episode, and the good bond between Johnny and Daniel that was building, that's been totally destroyed. Which is a shame, because that was something I really, really liked. They were really getting close. Remember, they were listening to REO Speedwagon together, which is a true sign of bonding. But that all got destroyed thanks to the idiotness, if there's want of another word, the stupidity of Louis, who thought he was trying to do the right thing. So we're at the All Valley tournament. It's the tournament we've all been waiting for. And you've got Miguel there, you've got Aisha there, you've got Hawk there, everyone's there waiting for Johnny to turn up. And he's not turned up. And there's a really good build-up clip when it's explained why possibly he might not be turning up.
Well, where's Sensei? The tournament's gonna start soon.
He'll be here.
I don't know about that.
What are you talking about?
I saw him last night at the mini mall. I was buying a carton of milk when I heard him in the parking lot yelling.
You want to be his father? Fine. Now who's pissed?
Sensei? Everything all right?
We're all gonna die, kid. We're all gonna die.
It's really funny, this clip. It reminds me of kind of Ant-Man, when the kid's describing what actually happened. It would have been really good if the little kid did the voice of Johnny, of the guy behind the counter when he was buying that magazine. And it's brilliant that such a little kid who's quite a geek is buying some kind of pervy magazine. I love the spin on that. It's brilliant. So Johnny turns up at the tournament, and he's still feeling resentment from the night before, from actually what happened. The fallout still affecting him. And there's kind of payoff in the motivational speech that he gives everyone. That through life you will get kicked in the bollocks, but you've got to carry on and have no mercy. I mean, his speech is, I don't know, what do you think? Is it a motivational speech?
You've all learned to strike first. To be aggressive, not be losers. Taught you to strike hard. Put every ounce of your power behind everything you do. I haven't taught you the third rule of Cobra Kai. No mercy. The older you get, the more you're gonna learn that life isn't fair. You wake up one morning feeling great, and then life throws a spinning heel kick to your balls. Takes a big steaming shit in your mouth. You get an F on a test, you get suspended, you fall in love with the girl, some other dude comes and steals her away. Car gets set on fire. Just when you think things are going good, everything falls apart. That's how it goes. Life shows no mercy, so neither do we. We do whatever it takes to keep our heads above water. We do whatever it takes to keep moving forward. We do whatever it takes to win. Remember who you are. You're badass. You don't give a shit. You kick ass.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai! Yeah! All right, guys, let's get down there and kick the shit out of everybody. Yeah!
For me, that's a pretty good motivational speech from Johnny. I don't think you're going to get any better. It's the proper guts and glory, go for it, kind of no mercy that he wants to teach all the kids. That when life gets you down, you can overcome it, any obstacle whatsoever. He's obviously referring to Daniel, he's obviously referring to Robbie, but we'll find out later on, is it a crossroads where he could become Kreese, or he could stay good and stay Johnny. So they're at the tournament and Daniel does decide to go in the end. Before the scene, he's at a bit of a crossroads where he doesn't know whether he wants to go or not. Samantha wants to go, but neither of them are budging. They're quite stubborn. Again, it's Amanda who's the voice of reason and says that you need to go. You're the sponsor of this show. You're the previous champion in '84 and you need to go. So they go there and there's a really nice moment where Daniel is standing in front of a big drape picture of him doing the crane kick back in '84. It's like a hall of fame for the champions and it's a really nice callback, seeing the older Daniel in front of the younger Daniel, the wannabe, the once champion. So all the teams present themselves to the crowd. And you've got the Cobra Kai who come running out in their black gi, traditional gis, back again from the '84 film. And they come out saying, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai. And it's quite corny. They sound like a German SS unit coming out, no mercy. But Kreese, had he have been there, would have been really proud. And you've got Robbie comes out, and he's independent. And he's got no one. But what I don't understand, what is questionable, is that they've all got black belts. I remember from the original film that when they did go to sign in that they need to be black belts. So obviously Robbie's got them all black belts. But they can't be proper black belts after this amount of time of training. It must take years to become proficient in karate, where you are a black belt. And at the most it's been a year for Miguel. And at the most for Aisha. And even people like Hawk, it may have been 6 months. And I question that they'll be good enough to meet these other people who are black belts, who are really, really good, who are skilled at karate. They wouldn't have got this far, it's questionable. But obviously it wouldn't play out if they were in the first round, all of them would have got knocked out. Huge anticlimax. But it's just questionable that all of these are just suddenly turned into Bruce Lee. It's just not believable. So they kick off with a tournament, and the first fight is Miguel. And he sets the standard of his attitude, of the way things are going. And this has clearly been orchestrated by Johnny. The very first fight, he does the famous crane kick. And he kicks the kid in the face, takes him out, wins the first fight. And for me, this was absolutely a fantastic way to start the tournament. Real attitude, really showing a massive finger up to Daniel that whatever you did, I can do better, I can do quicker, and I can do it with no mercy whatsoever. A really good decision. And also what's good about this is as soon as he takes the kid out and kicks him in the face, he goes to speak to Johnny, just like Johnny did with Kreese. And then Samantha turns around and says, he's taken your crane kick. How could he do that? Again, this is a swipe at Samantha as well. And the fact that Johnny just does that smile at Daniel. And again, it's a massive finger up with fuck you. You can do it. I can teach my kids to do it. It ain't that special. And next you're seeing Robbie fight, and Robbie looks really proficient, looks really confident, really tidy fighting. He's doing some great moves, great blocking, and he takes the kid out. And it's really, really good. And you can feel yourself cheering for Robbie. Remember, he's independent. And then it's Aisha, the bruiser, the warrior, the brick wall. She takes on her opponent. And fair play, she does well. And I think the choreography of this, for everyone involved, is really, really good. The music is like 80s. Again, it's rocking. It's getting you involved in the fight. And you're cheering for everyone. It's brilliant because as Robbie's winning, you can see Daniel standing up, getting off the edge of his seat, cheering, pumping his fist. He's really, really behind him. And that argument, the breakdown in relationship they had beforehand is just forgotten about. He's really pumped up and it's great. You've got Miguel and Johnny. You've now got Robbie and Daniel fighting on the same sides. And when it does come to Miguel fighting, he's doing some really, really good moves. Not only just kicking and punching, but some really good floor work, some really good sweeps. And he's taking down his opponent. And the choreography, again, for Miguel is so good. I'm really enjoying it. I'll compare it again to Iron Fist, which was so poor and such a disappointment. This, for people who have never seen before, they're really good at karate. It's really believable. And again, the people they're fighting against as well, really good, really tight. I'm loving this. But Miguel continues to hold his own. Robbie continues to hold his own. Really good fight, but one of my favourite fights. One of the characters who's coming through to become one of my favourite characters is Hawk. He's a complete nutcase. Talk about being confident. There's being confident and being on the edge of being a complete psychopath. And he's going towards that. He's fighting, he's taking people out, and he's really ruthless as well. He takes one kid out, and as you can see, he's there with his top off, showing the massive eagle tattoo on his back, and Moon's in the crowd, and she's lapping it up, much to the dismay and disbelief of Dimitri. So Aisha does get taken out, and it's by someone who won the last tournament, so there's no shame in that. And you can see from the video he's quicker, he's much nimble, he's more skilled than what Aisha is. Despite her strength, she can't overcome this opponent, and she loses, and she doesn't take it very well. And when he goes to shake her hand, she basically tells him to stick it up his arse, which is in true Cobra Kai style. And later on, as we'll see, that this is a chance for Samantha to go and start to build bridges again from their previous relationship. So it's not all lost. So Miguel takes out last year's champion, the one who took out Aisha. He gets revenge for her, and it's a really, really good fight. Loads of flips, loads of kicking, loads of punching, and it's a cracking kick to the body that finally wins the match for Miguel, and he's through to the final. And you know there's only going to be one opponent, and that's going to be Robbie, because Robbie's taken on Hawk in a really dirty fight where Robbie ends up injured and Hawk does not play to the rules and ends up getting disqualified. So following the illegal contact from Hawk that's injured the left shoulder of Robbie, he continues to fight. He continues to go into that final with that shoulder injury. It's just like a callback from the original Karate Kid, where Mr. Miyagi had to use his healing powers to heal Daniel. At this time, they kind of play on it. It's really good. He's in the changing rooms and Daniel's there. And he says to Daniel that you can't go out. Like, oh, I can't go out because I'm going to get hurt. I want to carry on. And Daniel says, you don't need to carry on. You've proved that you can do it. And he says, is there anything you can do? Can you heal me? And Daniel rubs his hands together. And you think that he's going to heal him with his hands just like Mr. Miyagi. And I'm glad he didn't. I'm so pleased he didn't. It would have been terrible for me if Daniel would have had that ability. That was the mystery with Mr. Miyagi, why he was so mysterious with his Eastern kind of medicine that he could heal people. And it would have been a real spoiler if Daniel would have had that magic and could have done it and healed Robbie. But no, he gets the paramedics and they heal him, and Robbie does make the final against Miguel. So the fight's a really good fight. Both of them are pretty equally matched. And obviously they're kind of scoring and go 1-1, 2-1, and then it goes to the stage where you think Robbie isn't going to win. He's doing a matrix. He's only using one hand, like Keanu Reeves did at the end of the Matrix, where he's standing there against Agent Smith when he's just blocking him, when he's not even paying attention. And Robbie goes through that phase. It's absolutely brilliant. And he gets knocked to the floor, and he does that one-handed kind of kick where he just bends down, goes on one hand and uses 2 feet, and he kicks Miguel straight in the chest and takes him down. It's really, really well filmed. You see a great angle of it. It's absolutely superb. And Robbie scores a point from it, and well deserved. Okay, and there's a really good part. They're 2-2. They're drawing. Next point wins. Next point, they are the champion. They're fighting. And just like the original film, where Daniel did a kick and Johnny caught his leg and he brought his elbow down on his leg and he really badly injured him, they get in the same kind of scenario where Robbie goes to kick and Miguel catches his leg and he looks over to Johnny and Johnny just shakes his head and says no. Ideally, he's going to get knocked out. It'd be an illegal move. And also it's his son, so you've got the mix of emotion. But he wants Miguel to win. And Miguel doesn't hurt his leg. But he kicks him away and then he gets him on the floor and he takes him down. And Miguel is the champion. He's done it the honest way. Be it that Robbie's injured, but Miguel's the champion. And it's a really cracking fight. So the end has two kind of surprises, one bigger than the other, for me anyway. Daniel takes Robbie back to where it all began, back to Mr. Miyagi's house, and you get that hint where you see the yellow classic car that he says we're going to create our own dojo, our own karate school. So you know in season 2 that it's going to really, really step up a gear, that Daniel's going to have his own school. Either that or it's going to be just him and Samantha. I think that's the way it's going to go. They're going to keep that rivalry between Robbie, Miguel, Samantha and Miguel. And also, Johnny is back at this dojo. He's having a drink, he's celebrating. There's a knock at the door and this shadowy figure walks in. And when he turns the light on, I knew who it was. As soon as I heard that voice, it's Kreese. Kreese is back for season 2. Things can only get worse when Kreese comes back. Johnny had morals, he had standards. When Miguel had Robbie in that leg lock, he said no, don't hurt him. Kreese was all for hurting him. How is Johnny going to change in season 2? What's the Kreese effect? How's it going to affect every single person? And what's the reaction from Daniel going to be when he discovers Kreese is back? It's just unbelievable. The only thing I can say, life hasn't been too kind to Kreese. His face looked like one of the monsters from Labyrinth. That's what he reminded me of. He hasn't been kind. I always agree to age gracefully. No matter what you look like, age gracefully. I think he's had a bit of work done. And cosmetics hasn't been kind. But it's a really good ending. The fight was great. The tension was great. The music was great. The choreography. It was a really, really good episode. A fantastic way to finish season 1, episode 10. I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait to see what season 2's got in store. Again, before I go, if you do enjoy this, if you're liking these episodes, subscribe. Click on that button just down there. Click on the button, subscribe to these episodes. It'll be great to have your feedback. Message me, tweet me at the Film Reelcast podcast. And I'll always reply. I love talking about anything, basically. So I hope you've enjoyed these. I love doing them. I really enjoy it. I'm going to start doing new episodes as well of various shows. Just want to find something I can get my teeth into. But I hope you enjoyed it and thanks for watching. I'm Stuart. This is the Film Reelcast and I'll see you soon.